All right, this is a case study on exactly how we took a wellness brand from $46,000 to $112,000 in the span of a few months. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is you're going to find this incredibly valuable because I'm going to hold anything behind a gate. I'm going to show you exactly what our strategy was that you should be applying as well. Number two, I'm going to be showing you simple mistakes that you're definitely making. And trust me, when I audit accounts, 95% of people are making these mistakes. So if anything, you're going to see what mistakes you're probably making without realizing, and you can be able to fix it. Then thirdly, I want to show you the exact kind of campaigns we were sending, the exact differences we made, the exact strategies we used, and you can go and literally pause this video, copy paste it. So with that being said, you can see that we took them from this amount to this amount, but the difference being that we made it in a few months. Most agencies will bloat about how they quickly took a brand overnight to making tons more revenue. But what they're not showing you is the dip that you'll see after those months of sudden growth. And there's no room for grow because a lot of that was luck. They didn't even know what produced those results. So what we focused in on is making sure that we had month-over-month growth, and we had a strategy to ensure that that would happen with a guarantee. So you can see ever since we took them over in the beginning of the year, we had that incremental growth every single month. There was no month that plateaued. There was no month that was lower. And most brands, like you probably, you will see a dip over here and then maybe a spike over here and then a dip over here because it's before Black Friday. Those are excuses. You should see month over month growth on email marketing, usually because you're acquiring new customers all the time and your repeat customers still maintain. So how would it make sense that you're dipping at all? It doesn't really. So we focus on the incremental growth, and before we brought them on, this is essentially what their split looked like. 38K to campaigns and 8K to flows, with them sending about 16 emails a month. So we actually didn't really change too much. If anything, we kind of did things that would make you think that we should decrease in revenue. Main thing that we focused in on was the sign-up form. That's the first part of the funnel. We always look at that. Main thing we noticed is that they were damaging their brand by offering 30% off instead of saving their margins, offering a lower discount, and then making sure that they could save those higher discounts for actual sales periods. So what was happening is they were actually generating super low revenue. They weren't really getting sign-ups. And although the same amount of people were coming to the website, we managed to change their sign-up form to 20% off instead of the 30% off, and we actually almost tenfolded our revenue. So the way that we did that is super simple. We changed it to a mystery pop-up form. So instead of just outright giving a discount, we made them feel like they had to earn it. So we did a mystery discount and we led them into a welcome flow where we tested 30% against 20% off, which most brands never do. The reason we did that is we wanted to save on margin, but we didn't want to sacrifice sales. So we actually wanted to prove it on statistics. Is there a specific deviation in where something will perform better? And we saw that ironically there was no difference between these. So what we did is we adjusted that sign-up to be a mystery. We changed it to 20%. And suddenly we were getting about 12% submission rates with about 8,500 people seeing that form. Whereas previously you were sitting around 6%. So we were not seeing as many people into the funnel or anything. Now what's interesting is your argument is probably going to be, okay, well, of course you're going to generate more revenue because more people were going into the flows and more people were signing up. That's not true. So if we take a look at the time periods, if we take a look at the last July period, you can see that we were doing the 30% off, and here it was delivered to 5,700 people. We actually got ours delivered to less people, but generated way more revenue. The way that we did that is we increased the placed order rates and we changed up the entirety of the email. We made it highly optimized. We made sure that they were mystery discounts, so they had to earn it in the flow. And suddenly we're generating almost $30,000 in extra revenue per month just by changing a sign-up form. There was almost no additional effort made. So we went from 30% off to 20% off, and it actually performed better. And if you take a look at another time period when we were running this, you can see the difference between this time period where it was sent to 2,200 people in a different time frame, and then it was actually sent to less people over this exact same time frame, but we managed to generate more revenue. Now, there were main differences that contributed towards this, and if your argument was that we obviously sent to more people and that's why we generate more results, that is not true. So if you take a look over here, you can see the way that it was previously structured. They set up the email to go a minute after signing up, which is a huge issue, and then it just had 2 emails and that was it. That is a huge issue. So what we decided to do is we rebuilt it the way you're supposed to send an email flow. So in the welcome email number 1, we sent the code. We changed the design, which I'm about to show you now. Then we waited a day before sending them another reminder, and we waited until a specific time. This time is intentional because it's the main time that people usually open up their emails. Then we send a message from the founder. This is a plain text email introducing them to the brand, making sure they feel a little bit more welcome. And these are the top 2 highest converting emails in the flow. Then, of course, we want to send them a reminder if they haven't used the discount, but if they have, and if they haven't, we also want to run through our best sellers. Super simple. Now, this is the design differences, and this is not necessarily the brand that we're doing the case study on. Unfortunately, we have a NDA with them, so we're not allowed to share their brand. But with that being said, I got my team to redesign Whoop's emails because they were very similar. And so what I wanted to show you is the way that it was previously designed. This is what a lot of brands do. So what a lot of brands will do is they'll have their logo taking up a massive space. They'll have a random image that really doesn't have much indication to anything. And then they'll put their CTA way down here with a ton of text and random things going on. So what we changed up is we put their CTA on the main image so it doesn't take their logo on the main image so it doesn't take up any prime real estate. Then we have a simple headline, which is super important. Then we have a subtext and their CTA immediately in the top 5 seconds of the email, plus a relevant image showing the person's age with the product highlighted. So again, my team designed this email. We did a separate post about this and a separate video about this. And then what we did is instead of having all this text over here, we built it into an infographic. So we put all that information here. Then we listed their best sellers in a little bit more of a mobile friendly way. Instead of it being the super prolonged email, we made sure that we focused on and optimized on the mobile friendliness. And then we had a call to action at the bottom. So everything about this is way better and is optimized for conversion. So all these things combined, of course, we're showing them also their discount. Their discount will be showed way up high. But the way that we do it is, number 1, simplify the sign-up form, making sure it's a mystery so they don't have a preconceived idea of pricing. Second thing is put them into a flow where they feel like they've earned it, and then it's a super simple, put together, well branded email to start with. This is going to be the most important thing that you do. Now, in combination with that, that is how we managed to generate 30K more from the email flow in general. And again, it's not like it went to way more people, it went to less, and it just got better results in general. So the click rate and place order rates were better across the board. Those were the differences. Now, if you want to know our general segmentation strategy, that played a massive role in how we generate that increase as well. So most brands, again, are getting this wrong. They are diluting their sending way too much. They're creating tons and tons and tons of segments that have no actual weight to them. They're not moving the needle. There's no real need to actually send to those segments. So the ones that we focus in on are repeat purchases, engaged non-buyers, engaged 120 days, and purchase once over all time. And here's essentially why we focus on those ones. So you can see that repeat buyers, we want to test offers on them to prove the concept and prove the offer. And then we're going to convert our engaged non-buyers with those proven offers. So we always test an offer first, and then we will go here. And then once we know what the working offer is, whether it's $1 off versus a percentage off versus a BOGO versus free shipping, we want to go ahead and test that offer here so that we can get our engaged non-buyers to win back or to convert, and get our win back opportunities to convert as well. So we have a really healthy cycle going. Then what happens is we end the testing. We only send this to a specific portion of the repeat buyers because they were going to buy anyway. And so that's why we send them only specifically non-promo emails and engaging emails. We never ever want to inundate our repeat buyers with sales because they're going to purchase anyway. Our sales should be intended for moving the engaged non-buyers. We don't want to teach our audience bad habits. So that's what we started to do with them, because previously they were sending tons of sales, damaging their margins even more, and they weren't even moving the needle with slow growth. So when we took them over, you can see that we obviously got that incremental growth because we never relied on sales. Their brand was never discounted. Now what we do is we test very specific discounts and offers because we want to get a specific outcome. If we want to increase AOV, we're going to increase our sale offer of spend X, get X. Then what we're doing to engage non-buyers that you should be doing as well is founder text-only emails. Super important. Then for our engaged 120 days, they need to get most of our emails. Almost every single email that we send will go to our engaged non-buyers without fail. And then I'll purchase once over all time, so they never repeat purchase. What we do to these people is we need to push them into repeat buyers. And you don't do that by consistently offering sales. The way you actually do it is by showing products that they might not know about, cross-sells and explaining how products can work in liaison together. So focusing on personalized emails that show their product that they previously ordered and either pushing them to resell, cross-sell, whatever it is. That is a super important strategy that we implemented for this brand. Then, if you take a look at our campaigns and the way that we approach it, again, because of the NDA, I can't show you too much, but I'll show you examples of other brands and some of the emails we've done. So for example, one main thing is whenever sending an email, we make sure to do a product highlight and then we showcase the use cases of that product and who it's for. So instead of what most brands do of saying, hey, here is our gummies and here are our tinctures and here are our capsules. Instead of doing that, we are instead showing use cases of our other products. So we're saying exactly who this is for, why they would want this. So for example, made for a slow and unhurried conversations. And this is for intimate dinners. This is for live gatherings. This is for big celebrations. People don't want to figure out when to use a product. They struggle to imagine it. You need to break it down for them. And so what we started to do for this brand is we started to send out emails, literally walking them through the products like they were 4 years old. We'll say, hey, this is a product for gatherings. This is a product for when you need to focus. This is a product for when you have that work assignment coming up. Those important things are things that you need to outline for them instead of them and relying on them to figure it out for themselves. So we do all the thinking for them. We show them an exact, really good hero visual, and then we show product highlights while showing their use cases and saying exactly who it's for. So super simple. Then the next most important thing that these brands are doing that we started implementing, because this brand had never done it before, is text-only emails. So we wanted to make sure that we implemented text-only emails since they are the best performing campaigns of 2025 across the board. And we send emails from a person. So it actually looks like it is coming from a person within the team, and we build a persona around them. And you can see that this is not ChatGPT slop. This feels personal. Like this is written from a person. And that is the most important thing that most agencies or brands are not taking the time to do. So, real copywriting has been lost, but this is so important, creating a persona. And this usually goes through the 120-day engage and our repeat buyers just to maintain the authenticity of brand. Then the other thing is we're not just running 20% off sales. Like I said to you, what we're doing is we're testing different offers every single month, because by Black Friday, we want to have a solid idea of exactly what we should be running and how. And so what we do here is we do AOV offers, and we do a simple explanation. We break it down very clearly. We show visuals. We're not overcomplicated. We're not putting tons of text. This does all the talking. We say save up to 125% or $125. That sounds a lot better than save up to 30% off. $125 sounds extreme. And so you're going to click into this, you're going to get curious. The other thing that my team actually designed is these two emails. Now, you can see that what we do is instead of doing a product highlight or a product launch email, we do it in an engaging way. So instead of just saying, hey, here is our new product, what we're doing is we're showing these products in a group chat in a very comedic way. Like it's still a product highlight email, but it's done very tastefully. This performs incredibly well. And then the next thing is instead of doing a product launch that's boring and saying, hey, here's a product launch, here's who it's for, and here are the benefits. Instead, we made the design so intelligent that it looks like all of these ingredients are pouring into the can. So you want to read all the way through. And again, we're using captions and headlines that make a lot of sense and that add to the overall feeling of the email. And so that's how we were able to scale this brand, is because we added this personality, we added strategy. We were very intentional with the way that people funnel into the flow, intentional with the way that we built the flows and revamped them. And the way that we revamped all of them was with this formula, this design formula, making sure we spoke to all their pain points. And then, of course, was the segmentation. This played the largest role in everything. There's a huge portion of the list, like the engaged non-buyers and the people that only purchase once over all time, that were never being sent specific emails. Most brands don't. So you can easily succeed with that. And so this is exactly how we managed to scale this brand. Now, if you're looking for the same scalability, go down below in the description and book in a call, and I'll see you on the other side.